Hey Warriors, we're together again, this time for webinar number 4 of the Warriors United Summer Session. And today's webinar is going to delight you. It's all about maximizing your time so that you can make more money. And I know that the majority of our Goddesses and Adoni are not full-time. They only have a small window of time to work their businesses each week. And I also know that some of you are single parents, spending time with your kids every other weekend or every weekend, so your time to work your business is also limited. So this webinar features 2 goddesses who both work full-time jobs. They are here to share their habit of doing 2 parties in a day, which enables them to make lots of money in one single day. So before I introduce them, let me give you your first code word, and it's BEST. B-E-S-T. Your first code word is BEST. So I'll start by introducing you to the team leader of Perfect Harmony. This self-proclaimed crazy cat lady is from Wilton, Maine, and she joined Athena's in 2016. She is very focused and determined. She's a goddess who shows up, is always open to learning. She applies what she learns, and then she gets to work. She was a top 10 new goddess in her first year and learned that she could do anything she put her mind to. So she set this goal to take her husband to Bermuda with Athena's, and she did it. She immediately set another goal, CatCon. It was her dream to head to California to be part of this event. And in the process of making her dream come true, she decided to take her mom along and visit San Francisco. Her mom's been dreaming of going to San Francisco and seeing Alcatraz forever. So this Perfect Harmony team leader worked her tail off and is now less than 60 days from living her dream. So she is the one and only Alex Lynch. Hi, Alex. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh, it's so nice to have you. Well, our next speaker hails from New York. She's the team leader of Positive Vibes, and she's been a goddess since 2012. She has served on the GAB board, which was a pretty big honor. However, I think she will agree with me when I say that one of the highlights of her Athena's career was when she received the Jen Clanton Lone Star Lover Award last year at Golden Circle. She is one of the most supportive, genuine, and selfless women I know. She's funny, she's open, she's real, and her Facebook rants will make you laugh, especially after she's had a few glasses of wine. There are like the pre-wine rants, and then there are the post-wine rants, both equally entertaining. She's passionate about the things that she loves, her rescue dogs, her man, and Puerto Rico's rebirth. She's Rebecca Richmond. Welcome, Rebecca.
Oh my God, I'm all teared up.
Oh, well.
You got me.
I am so grateful to both of you for taking the time to share with our warriors. I'm thrilled that you can join me to teach everyone how to make a lot of money in one day, because I can't imagine there's anybody on this call going, you know what, I don't want to know how to make a lot of money in one day. I'm all set. I just like to make a little bit of money in one day. So Alex, I want you to kick off by sharing your story about why you decided to start doing double parties.
Okay, so it was this past January. I had a hostess contact me in the beginning of the month, and she wanted a Saturday party for the end of January. At that point, I was booked out every Saturday until March, which was awesome, I thought. And I tried offering her Fridays, I tried offering Sundays, and she just did not want it. She wanted the day she wanted. So I was chit-chatting with Talia about it, and she said, offer her an afternoon party on the day she wants. And I was like, oh my gosh, like 2 parties in one day? I don't know if I can do that. She's like, you can do it, do it. So I offered the hostess a 1 p.m. party on the day she wanted, and she took it. And I've been doing double booking parties since then.
I'm so proud of you for, number 1, reaching out to another goddess for support when you were wondering what to do. I think that was really smart. And number 2, the fact that you took her advice, and even though you were a little scared at first, you did it. So congratulations. Rebecca, what made you decide to start doing double duty, 2 parties in one day?
I just kept seeing a huge need for that 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And a lot of it was coming from, party guests with children. It's a heck of a lot easier to get a babysitter or to send the kids away for an afternoon than it is to find, someone for them at bedtime. So it kind of was just like a little bit of a duh moment. Why am I not offering a 3 o'clock? Not everybody wants to be out till 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. So I just started offering it up, and I was like shocked at how many were booking and keeping them.
That's a really good point. I remember doing parties where people's kids were coming home in the middle of your demo, and you're like, well, Dad just took me to the movies, and now the movie's over, so he's back, and you got to hurry up and pack up your stuff. So I think doing afternoon parties was really smart. So, Alex, let me ask you this. Why do you feel that doing 2 parties in one day is beneficial for a goddess or Adonis?
Well, first things first is you're already dressed up. You're already in that party mindset. So obviously doing 2 parties in one day, you don't have to get re-ready again. You could potentially have double the profits in one day versus spreading it out over an entire weekend. If you have a tight schedule and your family constantly is saying, we want you home during the weekends, instead of doing a Saturday, Sunday party, put them both on a Saturday, put them both on a Sunday, and then you have that one extra day for family. And if one of those 2 cancel, you still have one party to go to. So you didn't completely waste a Saturday on one party that canceled. Now you have a backup party.
Ooh, that's smart. Rebecca, why do you think doing 2 parties in a day is a good idea?
Yeah, Alex is completely right with the cancellations. A lot of times if a party cancels, it's like, okay, well, I still have my 7 o'clock and it's a nice group that's going to be going. It took a lot of the pressure off of me. There are some weekends that I do 5 parties, and then there are weekends I only do 1. So for me, it was like, kind of balancing it out for me. It was making sure just by doing those 2 bookings in one day that I was absolutely hitting my 2K paved the way. I was absolutely, hitting those sales goals that I was setting for myself every month. And it was taking a lot of the pressure off of me to have every single party on the weekend do amazing.
Mm-hmm. So, Rebecca, can you tell me about how one goes about booking 2 parties in a day? Some people struggle to get 1 party in a day. How do you get 2 parties in a day?
Just focus on getting that one, because I tell you what, it's a lot easier to book a 3 p.m. or a 2 p.m. or a 1 p.m. at an afternoon party. You already know at that party that those women like that time worked for them, and push those times. I always make sure after every party, I let them know when I'm available each week. Fridays, 2 on Saturdays, 2 on Sundays. I offer Wednesday hump days. After I'm, closing out my demo and talking about the ordering room and the process and getting into that booking part of my demo, make sure you're putting those times out there. If it works for people, they will take it.
And do you position it like, this is for my, mothers who have little kids who can only get out of the house for a few hours in the afternoon? Like, do you actually market your afternoon parties to a certain group of people, or is it just anyone who wants an afternoon party, I have this date available?
I feel that if you target people, they're going to pay attention a little bit more to it. But I don't always only just say moms. There are people that work for the hospitals that work, 7 at night to 7 a.m. in the morning. You have your nursing staff, you have your wait staff, people that work in restaurants, they work Friday nights, Saturday nights. Those are big money making nights for people that work at bars. So I just try to be as, exclusive as I can without, making it really, really broad. People like it when you include them in something. So if they feel like you're talking to them, they're going to pay attention a little bit more.
That makes perfect sense. Alex, can you take us through the process of how you prepare yourself to do 2 parties in one day? Because I'm sure that you have to, mentally be prepared, but I'm sure there's preparation with your demo, with, your travel. How do you prepare?
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of preparation. So first things first is get a good night's sleep if you can. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'm coming off of a 24-hour shift and know I'm going to be up all day the next day. So if you can, get a good night's sleep, eat a good breakfast. I usually pack my car first thing in the morning, so I'm not rushing around later on in the afternoon and going, oh gosh, I forgot the hostess gift. I usually drink a Monster because I know I'm going to be up late. So that's kind of my thing. And just get in the positive mindset. Music is kind of my thing, and listening to positive music and getting into that goddess role is really how it all starts.
How about you, Rebecca? Is there anything that you'd like to add about the preparation part of doing 2 parties in a day?
Yeah, I didn't prepare at all when I first started them, and it was just an absolute mess. But that's just kind of how I learn things. You learn as you go. You're going to make mistakes, but for me, there's a lot that goes into me booking a double party. Number one, I have to make sure my partner's schedule is clear. I'm not a human mom, but I am a dog mom. I still have these dogs that need to be let out and exercised and fed. So I have to work around my partner's schedule, making sure that there's going to be someone available for them. That's first off. And sometimes I do travel great distances to do a party, and I can't make a party that's 2 hours away when I've only got an hour and a half in between. So, it's kind of just constantly checking, finding those dates that work the best for the hostess. But a lot of it goes into, making sure toys are fully charged, because I've made that mistake where it's like, they'll be fine. And during your 7 o'clock, they're like, this doesn't work. And I'm like, oh no, it broke. Oh no, it was because Beck didn't charge it. Fully charged. It's the first thing I do after I pour my cup of coffee. Anybody that's showing the hot heart, make sure you have 2, one that's always ready to go. You're not going to have time to stop and boil that hot heart again. So, it's just kind of overpacking catalogs, overpacking cash on hand, overpacking order forms. You got to make sure you're ready to go first thing in the morning.
And, I'm sure the preparation pays off, because that's big money in one day. How much, what's your biggest day that you've had in sales on like a Saturday, a double Saturday or a double Sunday?
My biggest day, I believe I did, my 1 o'clock was 1,000. And then I went and did, I think it was like a 1,500 was my 7 o'clock. Which I felt really bad for my Sunday party, because after it was 4 parties that weekend, and I was like, here's a bottle of Supreme you can take home, because it was all I had.
So now let me ask you this. So when you do like a party on a Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then a Sunday party, do you take the next weekend off?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know you got big dreams. You're going to Puerto Rico. You got big things going on. So, and I know you want to be a top 10 goddess this year. Woo! I love that. So, all right. How about you, Alex? Can you tell me what the most you've ever sold in one day is?
It was the first weekend in May this year, actually, and it was a $2,700 day. I remember finishing my first party. It was a $1,700 party, and my jaw dropped. And I was even talking to Brian on the ride home, like, do I do a wow video now? What do I do? And he's like, no, settle down, wait till after night. And I had a $1,000 party that night, and I was just like, I could not believe it. It was like absolutely uplifting and just magical.
That's a lot of money to make in one single day. Most people, they don't make that money in a week, some not even 2 weeks. So to make that kind of money in one day is just astounding. So congratulations to you both. And hey, it's there for the taking for anyone who wants to work that much and, put that much effort into it. People that have big goals and big dreams on their vision board, who want things, you can have that too. One day, 2K gives away in one day. Damn, you girls are good. So I'm going to give your second code word to you warriors, and it's day, D-A-Y. So my next question is for you, Alex. What are your top tips for anyone who's considering doing double party days?
First and foremost, have a game plan. When I book my first party, usually my evening parties book up first. And when you offer that afternoon party, know the distance between the 2 parties, know how long it's going to take you to get from point A to point B, and plan accordingly. And give yourself enough buffer time. I give myself about a half-hour buffer time between each distance, so that if a girl's asking me a couple questions in the ordering room, anything like that, that I have enough time that I'm not completely rushing to the next party. Know what time you have to leave that party and stick to it. If you have to shorten your demo a little bit. Keep a watch, keep time. You know, there's been parties where they're super rowdy, so I skip the game during the party because I know I need to go to the next one. And it's all about the mindset. There have been times where my first party was a total bust, and that can really alter your mood going into the next party. But the next party is a blank slate, and you have to remember that. So usually I'm the type of person, like I said earlier, music is my go-to thing. Meghan Trainor has a song called Me Too, and I just like to jam out to that because I think that everybody would want to be like me too and be a goddess, and that's how I get going into my next party. And you just got to remember to keep the energy up, and that could be a lot better.
Excellent advice. How about you, Rebecca? What do you feel are the most important lessons that you've learned while doing 2 parties in a day?
Definitely taking time at your afternoon party to repack your demo, repack your stock if you're stock carrying, pack it like you were leaving for the house, you know, perfectly put together and organized, because you are going to be tired, and you are going to be tired when you get to that second party. You do not want to waste any of that energy trying to find something because you were in a rush and you kind of just threw everything into the bag. Stay organized. It's not my biggest strong suit, but I've learned from my mistakes, and nobody wants a goddess that's walking in a tizzy, you know, because she's hit traffic and she's, you know, running a few minutes late. I also always let my hostess that is my second party of the day know that I am booked in the afternoon. I want them to know, because you know what, like Alex was saying, you need to have a time that you're leaving. You need to know what time you need to be out of there. But things happen, life happens. You have traffic, you've got bad weather. So I always let my hostess know I'm leaving my first party. I'm on my way to you. My ETA is around this time. So even if I am a few minutes late due to traffic or anything that comes up, she's fully in the know and knows when to expect me. I always keep snacks in the car because no one likes a hangry goddess. You may not have time to, you know, depending on how far you have to drive, to grab something to eat. I have protein shakes, and I've got nuts and beef jerky and bottles of water. Everything is in my trunk. So if I ever get stranded somewhere, I'm set for at least 2-3 days. And, you know, keep maybe that makeup bag or the rose spritz to kind of freshen yourself up. I can't tell you how many times I've walked into my second party not even looking in the rearview mirror and had just like mascara just smeared down my face because I didn't take a second to look at myself. And they were like, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is our rough. Okay, great.
I think that's you made a lot of great points. When you walk into the next party, if your last party was crappy, if your last party, you got stuck in traffic, all that is not the next hostess's problem. You touched on that too, Alex, you know, that the next party's a clean slate. You walk in there and you give them the best party that you got. It's really important that you don't go in there complaining about whatever happened at the last party. And I really think that if you had $1,000 party, you can walk in there and go, I had a $1,000 party, woo! I'm ready for you ladies and so excited. You know, you want to beat my last hostess? You can definitely talk about it if it was good, but definitely not if it was bad. You leave that like, whoop, in the car. And I love the fact that you mentioned bringing snacks, listening to uplifting music. I think that all of those things will help our summer warriors. So Rebecca, how do you feel that double party days impact the summer selling season?
Well, I think it is the best thing, honest to God. The most times that I do a double party is in the summertime. You know, people have Friday nights. They usually have plans on Friday nights. That does happen. But Saturdays, you've got pools, you've got diving for dildos, really push those diving for dildos, or hey, let's do a brunch on a Saturday type of thing. People, yes, summer can be very busy for a lot of people, but if you make it accessible to them, if you give them party ideas that they can do in the afternoon. I have a hostess that does not have a pool, but booked a diving for dildos party because she's going to go to like the nearest store and just get a kiddie pool and have her friends get on her hands and knees, which I thought was genius.
That's
It
fun.
doesn't, I just think you definitely can come up with ideas and again, kind of target certain people with them, what's going to work best for them. And I just think the 2 parties in the summer is the perfect time to do it.
I always found that in the summer on Sundays, I did really well with servers, nail techs, hairdressers, because their salons were closed on Sundays, and they were so ready to have fun because they have Sunday and Mondays off. So that was a really good group for me on Sundays in the summer, were all of those service providers. So that's a good tip for those of you out there that want to do more parties on Sundays. Make sure that you're working with your servers and the people that work on Saturdays. Your nail techs and hairdressers are perfect for that. So any final thoughts for our warriors on double duty dildo date, Alex? What do you think?
It's definitely a great way to increase your profits. Like I said earlier, if you have, family conflicts, scheduling conflicts, there's 8 weekend days in a month typically. So you can schedule way more parties than 8 in a month. So double days can definitely get you up to at least 16 parties. And like Rebecca said, that's 2K paves away at least, even if they're all not very profitable parties. They're definitely, double duty days are definitely worth it. You just got to find your own groove and find what works for you.
Ladies, I'm going to wrap up the call. I'm grateful to you both for being part of this webinar, that when I reached out, you said, absolutely, I'll help, because I know that you're both excellent goddesses who work your business with a lot of passion. So I thank you so much, so much. I know that everyone who's watching will have good takeaways and aha moments so they can start their double duty dildo days if that's something that they'd like to do. So it's that time again where I want to hear and see you, my goddesses and Adoni. What did you think about this webinar? What was your aha moment? I'd like you to go to the WOW page and make a brief video about your aha moment. There's a thread that says, share your aha moment from webinar number 4. So think about this before you make your video. What resonated with you? Was there something that you heard that made you go, I really think that I can do that? So post your video by Friday at 11:59 p.m. and I'll pick a random winner. This is another chance for you to win one of them $209 Womanizer Inside Outs. Oh yes, a free Womanizer Inside Out is up for grabs once again. You can use it as your demo, you can sell it, or you can keep it for yourself like Susan Brent did. I love that. She kept it for herself. So we've got choices to offer you, and whether you demo it, sell it, or keep it for yourself, you've done the right thing. You can't win if you don't make a video. So go to the WOW page, make a video, and submit your code words to get credit towards your spoils of war. Follow the directions that were included in the email that included this link to this webinar, and I've also, for convenience, posted the link to the submission form on WOW and War, so you can easily find it. And your final code word is ever, EVER. Your final code word is ever. Next week's Warrior webinar is another not to be missed learning opportunity for those of you that choose to tune in. You will learn from the #1 top seller in our company, Chrissy Shedd. Chrissy is a winner. She works her business with consistency and passion and conviction from a place of service. She is ready to share her best practices about hostess coaching and booking tips for summer. Don't miss it, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, ladies. Thank you so much.